With TNA and WWE making their partnership official back in January, the opportunity is there for both brands to send their top stars or future prospects to each other's shows in order to get some much-needed exposure or the ability to wrestle some of the best stars not under the WWE banner. Think of the following entries as examples of what could happen if Triple H or Shawn Michaels send any of their ladies from NXT or the main roster to TNA for an extended period of time. Here are 5 WWE female stars who found success in TNA Wrestling. Number 5. Chelsea Green. After a few inauspicious runs in the WWE, Chelsea Green would return at the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, where she was eliminated in about 5 seconds in the hands of any other wrestler. This moment, as well as having a Karen style of gimmick, would have been formulaic, but Green managed to make it work, but it's safe to say she had practiced perfecting this type of character. Appearing in TNA in 2016, Chelsea Green, known at the time as Laurel Van Ness, would be signed to the company and became a rising star thanks to her association with storyline authority figure for the Knockouts Maria Kanellis-Bennett and Sienna as part of the heel group, the Ladies Squad, which forced the ladies in the Knockouts locker room to deal with the group's mean girl-inspired antics. After the group quietly disbanded and Laurel was left alone at the altar during a massive wedding segment, she soon became the Hot Mess, which allowed her to show off her more creative and crazier side to her character. As the Hot Mess, Green came to the ring wrestling barefoot with shabby hair whilst wearing a messy wedding dress, makeup smeared all over her face, and often drinking from a wine bottle. The gimmick was gold, and soon helped her to capture her first and only TNA Knockouts championship, but soon dropped the strap as she left the company not long afterwards. Her second run saw a brief return to the Hot Mess gimmick at Slammiversary 2021, but stayed as her regular self throughout the rest of her run. Green would compete against Mickie James, plus she joined forces with her real-life husband Matt Cardona as a heel couple. She even won the Knockouts tag team titles with her friend and fellow pro wrestler Deonna Purrazzo before losing the belts at Bound for Glory and suffering a loss to Mickie in November of 2022, which saw her time in the company come to a close. Number 4. Brooke Tessmacher. Brooke's run in the WWE was lackluster at best, as the former fitness model's time in the company basically saw her train in OVW, become a part of a dance group known as Extreme Exposé for the WWE ECW brand, and compete in a number of forgettable battle royals before being released from her contract 11 months after signing it in 2007. Cut to 2010 and Brooke Tessmacher, was the short-lived commissioner of the Knockouts division before transitioning into the role of a pro wrestler, and soon became a popular act within the company, as not only did her wrestling abilities improved in the years that followed, but she also had the habit of twerking her backside before, during, and after matches, with her most notable move being the stinkface. A run with the Knockouts tag titles with Tara in 2011 eventually led Brooke scoring the biggest win of her career at Slammiversary 2012 when she beat Gail Kim to win her first TNA Knockouts championship in her home state of Texas. Brooke's final years in TNA would also see her join Aces and Eights, become a 2-time Knockouts champion, and even wrestled a young Deonna Purrazzo on 2 different occasions. Number 3. Naomi/Trinity. Naomi returned to the WWE in early 2024 as part of the Royal Rumble after almost 2 years away following her and Sasha Banks' walkout over creative issues. While Banks would make headlines after working for companies like New Japan, Stardom, and All Elite Wrestling, Naomi's future in the business was uncertain, with some believing her in-ring career was quietly coming to a close. That changed with the announcement of Naomi, now wrestling under her real name of Trinity, being signed to TNA Wrestling and making her debut for the company in Chicago, Illinois on the April 28, 2023 edition of Impact. To say the company booked the former SmackDown Women's and WWE Tag Team Champion like a big deal is putting it lightly, as Trinity went on a mini-undefeated streak, wrestled the likes of Deonna Purrazzo, Jordynne Grace, Alicia Edwards, and Giselle Shaw. Not to mention becoming the TNA Knockouts World Champion for all of 182 days before losing it to Grace at TNA's Hard to Kill pay-per-view in early 2024. Since departing TNA, the former Funkadactyl has had nothing but praise for her time in the promotion and the people she worked with. Number 2. Taryn Terrell. Before hanging up her boots from the sport of professional wrestling, Taryn Terrell was one of the most popular female wrestlers in the mid-2010s, and considering the four horsewomen were dominating the reigns in both NXT and the WWE main roster, that's saying something. Of course, this popularity didn't come during her time in WWE, as her most notable accolades saw her become the general manager of the WWE ECW brand in the final years of its existence, and nothing much to speak of when she debuted in TNA on the August 16, 2012 edition of Impact. Terrell became the newest addition to the TNA roster as a referee. After spending several months as a referee of the Knockouts division, Taryn got into a feud with Gail Kim, which led to the two having the first ever Last Knockouts standing match at Slammiversary 2013. That match, as well as their #1 contender ladder match on Impact, ranked as some of TNA's best matches of 2013, and this coupled with her formation of the Dollhouse and her 279-day reign as Knockouts champion turned Terrell from a forgettable blonde bombshell in WWE to one of the most beloved female wrestlers of all time. Number 1. Gail Kim. The story of Gail Kim's rise to the top in pro wrestling can't be overstated, as she, along with countless others, not only jump-started arguably the best women's division in all of North America with the Knockouts, but also became one of the most influential figures in all of women's wrestling. After working in WWE's development for about 8 months, Gail Kim debuted on the June 30, 2003 episode of Raw and won the Women's Championship in her very first match. Sadly, Gail's career in the WWE never reached those heights again, and she left the company in 2005 before signing with TNA and becoming a valet for Jeff Jarrett in America's Most Wanted. By late 2007, the Knockouts division was born, and while Gail would leave TNA in 2008 for an equally unfulfilling second run in the WWE, her matches with Awesome Kong and her body of work in TNA after her 2011 return made her a 7-time Knockouts champion, PWI's top female wrestler of the year in 2012, and the first female inductee into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame.